All right, this is Indianapolis. It's a beautiful conference room in the JW Marriott, the hotbed of rumors during the Combine. It's a fun spot. We've been here all week, mostly meeting with teams. So all the team clients that we have, it's been a lot of fun. You learn a ton. Not to get Steve on you for a second, not to wax poetic.
He had another one of those tweets, I think, on like Tuesday night or Wednesday night.
Ah, the journey. It's all about the journey.
He's running.
That's true. But it's been a lot of fun. You learn a lot about how the different teams utilize our PFF data, and that's obviously cool to learn. But
you also stand next to Adam Schefter on the treadmill breaking stories.
I was going to say,
so fire.
The real benefit is being able to listen to the people talk and do their thing. So why don't you tell that Adam Schefter story?
Yeah, I mean, I was on the treadmill next to him. Guy was going really hard, 4.5 miles per hour walk, holding the phone, trying not to trip, holding onto the TV in front of the treadmill.
So you're saying he's a fast walker, or?
He's a fast walker, yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
It was just, I mean, what a perfect way to grind it out, I think.
Shifty Schefter.
Shifty Schefter.
All right, other news. Jason Witten. Very sad.
So kudos though to our video guys though, who graciously got me a Establish the Run T-shirt with just Boog on the front.
Oh, that's smart.
So it's timeless.
Do you think?
Because Witt's gone.
So I've always said that Boog was the one that really like got me irritated. I just felt bad for Witten. Do you think that they just go ahead and run like with Boog and Tess? I mean, Neil can
the Godfather, Neil Hornsby.
Neil should jump in the podcast.
Hello, gentlemen.
I bet he has a strong take on Jason Witten.
Yeah, what do you think of Witten, Neil?
I think it's a great move for him personally.
Neil,
what do you think about
Neil's
for
statement,
Dallas?
Great move for Jason Witten. What about for the Dallas Cowboys?
I think it's a great move for the Dallas Cowboys.
Great move for the Dallas Cowboys.
It's a great move all around. It's an even better move for ESPN.
Neil thinks this is an incredible move across the board, including for ESPN. Positivity flowing from Neil Hornsby's mouth.
Anything that happens to our team clients, that's good.
Win.
A quadruple win.
Neil might stay up for Monday Night Football now.
Yeah. Who do you think they get?
That is such a great question. Maybe they're just going to let Boog do it.
So I think they could run it back with Boog and Tess, but I don't know that the league will be that happy about it, because that's not like the greatest combo in the world. How much money would you pay Peyton Manning to get in the booth?
Whatever he wanted.
Like $20 million?
Yes. Not a question.
They can afford it, so I'd give it a run.
I enjoyed the stuff that he did on the quarterbacks.
The hot name right now is Dan Orlovsky. That's the trendy one on Twitter.
No.
I think it's a little fast.
Do you think, here's a question for you, do you think that ESPN could coax Zach Robinson out of the Rams into the booth with money?
Neil brought up another topic that we were going to talk about, which is our friend Zach.
What is a better job, the Monday Night Football booth or assistant QB coach to Sean McVay?
Well, there's a caveat. Or the question, the first question I would ask, if I was Zach, is Boog still going to be there?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that would be a defining question.
Deciding factor for Zach. So if you haven't heard, Zach Robinson, moving on from PFF.
Now friend of the podcast.
Arrivederci, friends.
See you, Neil. Zach contributed a lot to what we did, because he was at the forefront of really the quarterback rating process from start to finish, the quarterback charting process as well. So he really helped PFF. I think PFF really helped Zach. He would say that every time.
Yeah,
of course,
sure.
This just means that the hottest job on the market is PFF analyst.
Yeah, PFF QB analyst.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, Zach was always gracious. It was awesome. We'd come up with an insight. We'd almost always ask him, because he sort of like knew some of these intricacies of playing the game, like the whole running, like, you know, what is the benefit to running for the QB, and, you know, say something akin to, you know, give me a mental break. You know, those are things that like we're not measuring necessarily on the field, and it may not be true empirically, but it's true to people who played and things like that. So he was an awesome guy, and certainly fun to interact with.
I have already invested heavily in the Rams over based on this news. There's really only one way to go. So you're welcome. What else is there? Okay, Kyler Murray. Next bit of news here. Kyler Murray, over 5'10", hands, not great, not huge.
Can I give you a theory?
Sure.
So Kyler's 207 pounds.
Yep.
How much of that is from the president? Because we hear the president weighed in at 243.
You think he donated?
I think he donated a little bit.
Oh, man. So do you think that this is enough height to push him over the top and make him a consensus number one?
I hope. I hope the answer to your last part is yes. If the premise is the reason, then I want to burn it all down.
Right. But I mean, it will be.
Yeah, I do think it's encouraging that he is not like 5'7" and 3/4 and a $178 soaking wet. I do think that, of course, helps him. But I think that there is some evidence swelling for people that are, basically that there are some people that view him as a top pick, and I think that that's, the rational approach to it.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this a ton, all the different things that he did to sort of prove himself and produce in situations that are NFL-like situations. I was talking to our buddy, Louis Riddick, last night.
Yep. Got to meet
Friend
Louis.
of the podcast.
Yep, he is.
We were gonna try and have him on. If this part is edited out, that means he'll be on.
Yeah.
But Lou was talking about Haskins. He really likes Haskins quite a bit. And I was kind of, mentioning all of the different things that we've done with Kyler, and I think he's coming around. I think he'll get there, but he's on the Dwayne Haskins train. We, of course, on the Kyler Murray train, and it's not because of height. You put in the show notes, is touchdown Trent Richardson back?
So Trent Richardson.
Can I take a nap while you talk about this?
6 touchdowns in the AAF. He has all of the Birmingham Irons touchdowns. However, he is averaging 2.5 yards a carry. So
he's back.
He's back. 2.6 after contact, though, which still isn't that good, but that's better than But after a week full of Hackenberg stories, I think people if we didn't have a week of Hackenberg stories that were embarrassing, I think we would have had a week of Trent Richardson stories this week.
God help us all. Another bit of news here. This actually from yesterday. Nick Foles appears to be headed for free agency. What would you put the odds of him actually being a starting quarterback week 1 next year?
-140.
I think he's a backup or nothing. Don't we know enough about Nick Foles? Is there a team that's bad that needs a quarterback that's going to say, oh yeah, our system fits Nick Foles? Because Nick Foles isn't coming in and running any system, right?
Mm-hmm. He's also not taking a discount, though. That's the
And that's the other thing.
If he were going to go somewhere and start for like Miami, he would have to take a significant discount for it to make sense for them, in a rebuilding mode. But his options in Philadelphia were pretty good had he stayed there to be a backup. So I don't know what necessarily his mindset would be in this. I'm assuming he wants to go be a starter. It'll be interesting to see if the market. I mean, Jacksonville's a clear choice. For example, they have invested a lot in their defense, and they hope that they'll probably revert back to glory days of 2017. There, put in Foles. Could they get the party back together? I don't know. Do you think it's below 50-50?
Yeah, I think his path is to be a backup. I think he accepts the fact that he'll make more being a backup than he will. Yeah, not long term, but just than not playing. And so he's going to take being a backup, right? I heard another friend of the podcast, Fred Godelli, suggested the Colts.
That's not bad at all.
That made a ton of sense.
Frank Reich.
I think the Rams, who I think you brought up, make a lot of sense. So I think there's a market for him. It's just...
The weird thing, though, is that market ends up being a little bit crowded with a guy like Fitzpatrick in the mix. You start to get in that when you're looking for a starter type situation, you're a singular point in essence. When you're looking for that, I guess Teddy Bridgewater's kind of in that realm as well. But when you're looking at veteran backup guy, you have to compete with some guys in the marketplace.
That's true.
It'll be interesting to see.
All right. Do we have any other news?
I think we want to talk about some mean tweets.
All right. Who do you think was the main target of these? They weren't like mean tweets; they were like mean comments, right?
Yeah. So
where do I find?
Well, it's the last PFF. It's the last PFF forecast that came out. So that was last week, and I was, I'm not like Neil. I don't read the comments very often.
Oh, very often.
Yes.
Really?
But I was in a, maybe the kids were late coming home from school. I don't know where I was mentally here. But I started reading the comments. There were 73 of them on the last forecast. And of course, we deserved it because we previewed.
Yeah, let's recap the ridiculous things we said.
We reviewed the Jets season, previewed their upcoming season, but we committed an unpardonable sin. We forgot who the tight end for the Jets was. The memorable, the epic, the venerable Chris Herndon.
Yeah, he had a game where he had negative receiving yards.
Well, it was about a tenth of it. It's called the tithe, George.
Yeah, so that was the first thing. So Jets fans are a passionate bunch. I know a couple people who are Jets fans that are like actually normal people, so I'm not going to pass judgment on all of them. However, some of them are particularly spectacular. The next thing that I said, which I should have known was going to just really trigger people, was that I thought that I would trade Sam Darnold and pick Kyler Murray if he were available. This caused quite a bit of anger. Maybe these people are, I don't know,
gnashing
related?
of teeth. I mean, there's something in it for everybody here, including our video guys. Who edits these videos? These takes are god-awful. This is from Jason Reeves. PFF is valuable, but you can definitely tell they watch no film at.
Zero.
Who is their tight end? Austin Seferian-Jenkins. What? And of course, like, I said Chris Baker and Kyle Brady because
in
those
fairness,
are also
if you can tell me a difference
tight
between Austin Seferian-Jenkins and Chris Herndon,
yeah,
good luck.
Chris Lombardo, 6 days ago, edited. These two shouldn't have jobs. They forgot about Chris Herndon, who is ranked highly by their own system, called the trade with the Colts suboptimal. Meanwhile, the Jets got a solid quarterback in Darnold, and the Colts got one good player, Ben Braden, so far, and implied that they should have traded Darnold to take Murray.
Ben Braden. Yeah, good. Ben Braden doing well.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Both of you are on drugs. Hope you do this for free.
We don't, but
we do the podcast for free. We are not paid to do the podcast.
That's actually
no one at PFF is paid to do podcasts. Let's be
Chris
real.
Martinez, PFF, please don't let these guys talk again. They are boring and don't know what they're talking about. They're THEIR.
It's not Steve and the Wii one. I'll watch it, but I don't have to like it. Thank you.
The thing that
calling Sam the Wii one is hilarious.
John Hood, George Chahrouri is such a douchebag.
Oh.
Goes out of his way to find the correct spelling of your name.
Kudos. I am a douchebag.
Well, and apparently I look like I can't even
Seth
think of
Rogen.
Seth Rogen.
And
so.
Ben Roethlisberger had a kid, and it's you.
Fuck.
Calling someone a douchebag in the comments of YouTube section it's biting.
Here's one. Quadzimo FPV, thumbs down.
Oh.
There's a way to signal that in a different way. But
here's finally something worthwhile. Totally agree with these guys and their takes. Invest.
Invest. I'm going to give that a little thumbs up here, I think. Good commentary. That's from aspiring filmmaker Holly.
This is great. A person named George Jetson says, PFF, ... Get these guys off the podcast. They will ruin your brand. The twerp on the right is literally unbearable. No insight and not funny. Oh my God, I'm considering boycotting until this guy is gone. I don't blame him.
And here's the voice of reason, Dan Bodine. The guys at PFF say Murray will be the better player. They tend to be correct, so I agree with them.
The guy on the right is a downright moron.
I found these especially hilarious because not only were they mean to us, there was a few that were specifically mean to you.
Oh, they were more than a few. These guys. Here's another one. These two suck. Maybe he, referring to me, would go make another water bottle out
out
of
of wood.
Look, if you can make fun of someone's swell bottle, you got to do it.
Yeah. So.
Good commentary. I agree.
Yeah. So that you get this and a little bit more every time you go on the YouTubes, especially for us. So the strange thing is like whenever either one of us do a video with somebody else, they get like no thumbs down. There's nothing but nice things to say.
Yeah, it's a potent combination.
It's with us. We're the triggers brought to you by the NRA.
I do feel kind of bad. I've been getting a lot of heat from the bosses, the powers that be. Apparently, I'm a dick. Apparently, I'm like a grumpy old man, and I didn't realize this.
I don't think you're a jerk. My father sometimes listens to the podcast and says that we can both be volatile.
Oh.
I think volatile is a better word. I think your variance is, my variance is higher. Yours is
consistently
yours
on
is
the
time invariant.
The dark side?
Yes.
Oh, man. This is sad. Yeah, Chris literally called me a grumpy old man yesterday, which hurt a little bit.
What are you going to do about it?
I'm going to try and be more youthful, I guess. Let's see. So this is obviously a lighter podcast. We're hoping to have Sweet Lou on, but Jason Witten being coming out of retirement.
We just promoted another name added to the list here.
Sweet Lou?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a dark horse candidate. I would like to see him on there.
He has a good voice. And
he's a great voice. He's smart. He's intelligent. Well-spoken. So I think it'd be interesting. I think he'd do a much better job than anyone else has done over the past year.
For sure.
There's that. We'll be back next week, regular time. We're going to start reviewing. I think probably should go to 2 teams per pod. We'll see. We'll play it by ear.
We'll see. The
Raiders
are up next. They have 3 first-round picks. We have to spend 3 times as much time on them.
Look, I would just make sure they get Kyler at 24 or 27, and then I think they're good.
Oh, you've been doing some mocks, haven't you?
I've been doing some mocks. Mocking it up.
Mocking it up.
Just mocking
Sim that thing out, man.
Oh, mock drafts. That's me. All right. Anything else? We good?
No. Back to the combine.
Peace out.
In the dark you shine.